My name is Rej Lorenz Simbajon. My topic is all about leadership. Leadership is an art of motivating your team to achieve common goals in a business setting. This means directing, controlling, planning, and directing your college. In simple words, leadership is about taking risks and challenging the status quo. Leaders motivate others to achieve something new and better. Leadership theories. The leadership theory pursues to explain how an individual turns into leader or how they become a leader to lead his or her team in an organization. This theory focuses on the characteristics on how to become a leader. Psychology debates that leadership frequently recommended that such skills were simply abilities that people were born with. In other words, this theory suggested that certain individuals were simply born leaders. Some more recent theories propose that possessing certain traits may help make people natural leaders. There are 8 major leadership theories, and these are the following. Great man theory. Great man theory is people in positions of power deserves to lead because of characteristics granted them at birth, which ultimately help them become heroes. Trait theories is the trait theory of leadership argues that leaders can become more successful by developing and learning those key traits. Contingency theory. Contingency theory states that a leader's effectiveness is contingent on how well the leader's style matches a specific setting or situation. Situational theories means you can control all possible outcomes or adapting your leadership style to its unique situation or task to meet the needs of the team or team members. Behavioral theories. If there's a problem with a team, an as-oriented leader will look at the process to see if something needs to be adjusted with the workflow. Participative theories. Participative theories, for example, if a company executive is participative leader, they hope to involve all members of an organization to help make decisions. Management theory is are often used in business. When employees are successful, they are rewarded. When they fail, they are reprimanded or punished. Relationship theories is an example of relationship theory would be a manager who takes a new employee under their wing. They would help the employee understand how they fit within an organization and encourage them to open about questions and problems.
Good day, my name is Janna Taotho and I'll be discussing about situational theory first. So in situational theory, it suggests that there is no single leadership style is the best, since in here the approach focuses on how a leader should adopt or how a leader is flexible enough to have his or her way to getting the job done, and he or she might look at the nature of task, nature of group, the factors that might attribute to getting the job done. So in here, it is also um, believed that there is many different ways of dealing with the problem. In dealing with the problem, so the leader should still assess the situation before having his or her way in believing what he or she can do. In behavioral theory, it is the opposite of the rhythm theory, since rhythm theory talks about heroic, the myth that leaders are born and not made. So in behavioral theory, it is believed that people can become leaders by just interacting and observing in its environment. So in behaviorism, um, it is believed that all behaviors are acquired through conditioning, and conditioning happens with its environment. So through behaviorism, a leader can now balance or assess what leadership style he or she can use in order, or it depending on the concern of his or her members. Behaviorist, it is the person who believes in behaviorism. So behaviorists believe that our actions are shaped by our environment. In cognitivism, it is a grand theory of human development which focuses on how people think over time and how our thoughts shape our attitudes and beliefs. So it emphasizes the importance here of observational learning. So through observational learning, we can now assess how we think or how can we act in any given situation, since this focuses on the mental process involved in learning and knowing, and how the mind actively organizes experiences. So in cognitivism, a person who believes in cognitivism is a cognitivist. So for the example of cognitivism, the example is in case you're feeling down and you need encouragement, and someone gives you verbal encouragement, so now you can now build the self-efficacy, which is the belief in one's ability to succeed in various situations. So through verbal encouragement, we humans change the way we think. So it will help us to be more present in our situation. For emergent theories of psychology, it explores human behavior within a group or within a crowd. So, for example, of emergent theory of psychology is the social conformity. So, in a social conformity is a social influence involving a change of belief and behavior to fit in within the group. So, for example, we humans do have a common tendency to adopt the opinions and follow the behaviors of the majority. So, the best example for this is when we're having a protest or asking for a rescue. In evolutionary psychology, it is the application of principles of evolution, including natural selection, to explain psychological process and phenomena. So some cognitive psychologists have claimed that we inherit our psychological characteristics, which is being optimist, being open to experience, having self-control, having self-esteem. So for functionalism, it is the view that mental health process and behaviors of living organisms help them to adapt to their environments. So this focuses mainly on how our behaviors and mental abilities help us human to adapt to our environment. Humanistic psychology, it emphasizes each person's unique potential for self-actualization and psychological growth, since it is the importance of free will and self-actualization in determining good mental health. So it is humanistic psychology is we observe personally how we behave in given situation, since it is the notion that people are more motivated to realize their personal potential. For conditional positive reward, it is the sense that you will be valued and loved only if you behave in a way that is acceptable to others, also referred to as conditional love. So conditional positive regard is really it is not what we want to experience, but in some ways we already have experienced this, that we should act according to how they want us to behave or how they want us to act in a given situation. So we'll go with the most or the one that we want, which is the unconditional positive regard. So for unconditional positive regard, it is the sense that you will be loved, you will be valued and loved even if you don't conform to the standards and expectation of others. So for the unconditional positive regard, we basically feel this or have this through our parents, our friends, by ourselves, because this is the it is an amazing feeling, or having this unconditional positive regard, because we can be us without minding how the people around us want us to act, and they accept us for who we are. So in Jung's theory, he believes that psychological energy pushes us to achieve psychological growth by self-realization, physical wholeness, and harmony. Jung believed that every person's purpose in life was to have our conscious and unconscious become fully integrated, so that they would become our true self. So still in archetypes, in Jung's theory, it is the inherited mental images of universal human instincts, themes, and preoccupations that are main components of collective unconscious. So Jung believed that the archetypes are layers of inherited memory, and they constitute to to the human experience. For collective unconscious, it is still in Jung's theory, which it is the unconscious mind that is inherited from previous generations, and that contains universally shared ancestral experiences and ideas. So for extrovert, it is a personality type that turns its attention toward the outside world. For introverts, it is the opposite of extrovert, which personality type that focuses attention inward. But we have this we might have both personality, which is the extrovert, and the introvert, which is called ambivert. So it will depend on the moods or in our behaviors in any specific time or situation. For rationalism, this is distinguished by Plato that knowledge are acquired via the senses from that gained by reasons. So it derives from reason without recourse to the senses. So for structuralism, it is this early school of psychology that emphasized studying the most basic components or structures of conscious experiences. So in the idea behind the structuralism is that everything together makes up the entire experience. For psychoanalytic theory, it is a grand theory of human development that holds that irrational unconscious drives and motives often originating in childhood that underlies our human behavior. It is developed by Sigmund Freud, which believes that human behavior was motivated by unconscious conflicts that were almost always sexual or aggressive in nature. It also emphasizes the role of unconscious factors in personality and behavior. For dream analysis, it is the content of dreams analyzed for disguised or symbolic wishes, meanings, and motivation, also referred to as as dream interpretation. So I basically, or if you saw this dream interpretation in your FYP on TikTok, because there's a lot of dream interpretation in TikTok or any social media platform. For errors, it is in first theory, which talks about the self preservation or life instinct reflected in the expression of basic biological urges of us humans. For free association, it is a therapeutic mechanism that emphasizes the resolution of unconscious conflicts that requires the patients to rapidly respond to a list of trigger words with the first word that comes to mind. So in free association, we just basically talks about how we feel honestly. So in Freudian personality structures, which is according to Freud, it is the psychological energy which evolves to form three basic structures of personality, which is the id, the ego, and the superego. So first is the ego. Ego is the center of it is ego ensure that the id wants are acceptable in the real world. And it is a logical aspect of personality, which for the id, it is the opposite of ego, which basically the center of wants and primal desires. It demands immediate satisfaction, and it is the pleasure principle. So for the superego, it is the sense of right and wrong, both conscious and unconscious. It is learned right between right and wrong that controls us. It is formed through the internalization of parental and societal rules.
Good day everyone, my name is Charles Tein and this is my topic of my report, why our leadership styles is important. As you develop leadership skills, likely use different processes and methods to achieve your employer objectives and meet the needs of the employees who report to you. There are 10 common leadership skills. Number 1 is coach. This type of leader often assists team members in setting smart goals and then provide regular feedback and challenge projects to promote growth. Number 2, visionary. Visionary have powerful ability to drive progress and user in periods of change by inspiring employees and earning trust for new ideas. For example, he has developed a testing method so they can find meaningful ways to help student or employee in a quick, efficient way. And number 3, servant. Servant leader live by a people first mindset and believe that when team members feel personality and professionally fulfilled. Then number 4 is autocratic. Autocratic, also called the authoritarian style of leadership. This type of leader is someone who is focused almost entirely on result and efficiency. Then number 5 is laissez-faire or hands-off. This leadership style is the opposite of the autocratic leadership type, focusing mostly on delegating many tasks to them team members and providing little to no supervisor. Then number 6 is democratic. Democratic style, also called to the participative style, is a combination of the autocratic, laissez-faire types of leader. Then number 7 is pace-setter. The pace-setting leadership style is one of the most effective fast result. These leaders are primarily focused on performance. Then number 8 is transformational. The transformational leadership style is similar to the coach style in that is focused on clear communication, goal settings, and employee motivation. Then number 9 is transactional. Then number 10, the last one is bureaucratic. Bureaucratic leader are
The 5 levels of maturity. Level 1 is not very good. An organization that operates at level 1 is not very mature in its project, program, portfolio, or management approaches. A company here would typically have some project management practices in use, but in the bits of the company. Not all projects will have a defined scope and objectives. So in level 1, processes or procedures in here are not yet fully established. Things right here are still confusing, and some of it are still a bit of chaotic. Basically, some processes or procedures in here was not yet fully applied to a specific task, or a person or a team or the management itself are still not used to how does this process go through, how does a project or a process works. Cite for an example right there is a newbie in a call center. If you're a newbie on a call center company, basically you don't have any idea if how does a call center works, how they're going to handle that specific job. From the word itself, newbie. So they still need to be trained. They still need to go through on level 1 process. So the level 2 and 5 maturity levels. Level 2 is a bit better. In this maturity level, project management is more widely accepted. There are still pockets of the business where projects are not managed, but there will also be functional experts. There's likely to be some kind of initiative to establish better project management practices across the business. There might even be documented templates. So in maturity level 2, this is an organization where they have already achieved all the specific, not yet fully achieved all the specific engineering goals, but some of it. The process in it are slowly adapting and slowly applying to a specific role or a specific job. In other words, the projects of the organization have ensured that requirements are managed and that processes are planned, performed, measured, and controlled. So let's refer to my example in level 1, which is for the newbie in a call center. In this part, newbie in a call center are slowly trying to adapt the role of their job. They have trainers that will train them, and those trainers are fully established to the role that a newbie should undergo. Level 3. Level 3 and 5 levels of maturity. This is what we call the average. At this level, we start to see a better grip on a project. Management practices across the company. Projects are managed in a consistent way, so there is a standard process in place. Methods have been chosen and are in use. There's a clear project life cycle which is followed. This will include work during project initiation, but also a focus on control during the life cycle in the form of reviews, reporting, and checks. So in this part, an organization has achieved all the specific engineering goals of the process areas assigned to level 1 and level 2. Also, processes are well characterized, understood, described in standards, procedures, tools, and methods are being used. So, in this part, as what I have cited in my examples, this is where a newbie and a call center agents applied all the training that they process on level 2. They're slowly adapting all the procedures and methods on how does their job works. So basically in here, they already have some of the knowledge that they're going to apply to continue the procedures, the process, or the specific job. So the level 4 and 5 maturity levels is what we call the good. If you are not here already in your company, this is where you should be. Aiming, making the jump from level 3 to 4 means that there is a strong and effective result. The performance of process is controlled using statistical and other quantitative techniques, and quantitatively predictable at maturity level 3. Processes are only qualitatively predictable. So in this part, you are slowly improving, and you are slowly used to applying all the techniques on how does a specific job works. Level 5, this is the last part of the 5 levels of maturity, which is the well done. And this part, there is lots of control at this level. Projects data is used to monitor progress and effectiveness of in-flight projects, but it is also fed into the business planning team and the PML functions or equivalent. This part enables the whole business to benefit from the project experiences. At this level, the organization is fully embraces the benefits of a project management approach and really understands what they are letting themselves in for. Stakeholders are engaged and supportive of the projects, but project managers still have to work hard. So in this part, this is where you were fully successful in adopting all the procedures, all the techniques on how does a specific jobs work. So as what I have mentioned earlier regarding with the newbie call center example, you're done already with the training, with the other parts of the training, and now that's it. You're good to go. You're good to go on production to take calls. And also in this part, you were able to apply the maturity levels in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Processes are still continually improved based on quantitative understanding of the common causes of variation or inherent in processes. So in this level, even if you were already done, you were already successfully done in adopting all the processes, you still have to continually improving your performance all throughout the specific job.
Hello everyone, I am Mariel G. Tizon. This is the topic that I will discuss and deliver it to you, the importance of developing people and self-motivation. So, people management. People management is a process or training motivating and directing employees in order to optimize workplace productivity and promote professional growth. Workplace leaders such as team leaders, manager, and department heads use people management to oversee workflow and boost employee performance every day. So people management refers to our or responsible to the practice of recruiting, training, engaging, and retaining people to optimize their talent and maximize their productivity. People management is useful in many workplace situations such as handling interpersonal conflicts. Managers and employees in leadership positions have an important role in resolving conflicts. Effective people management can help you mediate conflicts between employees in a way that promotes collaboration and respect. Example, in a workplace, managers and employees must know to communicate in order to avoid conflict. The employee must open to the managers or higher leaders positions to address the issues or dilemmas in work, to resolve its problem and manage the pace of the work. Reading employee training. So reading employee training as a workplace leaders, you may be responsible for onboarding new employees and coaching current employees on updated processes. You can use the elements of people management to provide constructive feedback and mentor employees so they can succeed in their positions. Examples for that is, as a workplace leader, you must guide and handle new employees and coach them so they can be successful to their positions. Monitored each performance and give feedback so these employees would know and improve their skills until succeeded their position. Senior trainees successful to their desired position seems that you succeeded as a mentor also. Managing deadlines. Directing employees includes assigning tasks and establishing achievable goals. Effective people management can help you evaluate your team's resources and set realistic deadlines that encourage progress. Example, as a leader or a team leader is a tough that you need to organize your team, right? So to achieve that, you must apply people management to manage well your establishment. To achieve an harmonious workplace by assigning tasks and checks its employees' performance and set proper schedule to handle its tasks. Building company culture. So your leadership positions may allow you to positively influence your work environment. You can use your profile management responsibilities to build rapport with employees. You can also ask your team for feedback as their perspective of the company and then turn the feedback into actionable changes to a company culture that every employees can help to develop. So example of this is building company culture is ikaw, as a team leader, you must encourage your team to get along by setting a team building. A team building that help you to get along with your team and to know the team more. I believe more bonding, more trust. In this far, your team will get along and may improve work productivity which is good for the company since the employees is getting good. Yeah. And this is the end of my report. Thank you. And I am Mariel G, Tizon, last reporter of Group 10. That's all. Thank you.